Time for Table Talk as we're joined by Jastremski and Chris LoPresti. And I don't know whether we should debate Tribeca or Williamsburg or whether Brandon Marshall's an all-time Jet great, but we don't have time for either of those in the show. So, JJ, does hearing what Aaron Rodgers had to say make you feel even stronger that Rodgers to the Jets is inevitable?
I'm not going to say based upon the comments and the little back and forth that he had with Brandon Marshall, but all of the tea leaves, everything you read, everything you hear, it just points me in a direction where it's Jets or bust for Aaron Rodgers. The Packers are clearly willing to move on. I think Aaron Rodgers wants to play football next year. So, yeah, I know Brandon Marshall is trying to get it out of him. Rodgers having a little fun about the idea of living in Brooklyn. But, no, that conversation doesn't necessarily push me over the edge. I do think, though, at some point this week, we'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets starting quarterback.
I'd still say it seems more likely than not, but I'm not fully convinced he wants to play football, or at least the way that the Jet fan base is looking for him to play football. That's number one. And number two would be, yes, I understand the Jets flew out and met with him. And how did he just describe his meeting with Woody Johnson? Interesting. So maybe more of a meet and greet, feel it out. I'm not 100% convinced that he is feeling the love or vice versa. So it's Aaron Rodgers. He's a wild card. It's the Jets. Strange things seem to happen. So I'm not fully convinced, not that I know anything. It's just trying to kind of put the pieces together and read between the lines. But until this is all signed, sealed, and delivered, and we get that report that, hey, they've agreed on compensation, he's all in, he wants to play, for some reason, I still just feel like something can go south at some point here.
By the way, it would be a tough commute from Williamsburg to Florham Park.
Very tough.
So I don't think he's living in Brooklyn. All right, so you mentioned maybe he will pull the rug out from under Woody Johnson and the Jets and retire. The name Kirk Cousins has emerged as a possible plan B. Chris, does Kirk Cousins finally to the Jets do anything for you?
I mean, if you're looking for stability, I suppose, and a guy that you can kind of mark down and know what his numbers are going to be and then probably underwhelm you come playoff time, I suppose. I would want to know, what's it going to take compensation-wise to bring that type of guy in? And we already know, Dave, you're going down the Lamar Jackson path in addition to the contract. Now you're talking about 2 first-round picks. So what would it take to offload him or pull him away from the Vikings? I know they're starting to talk extension. He's entering a contract year. So before I could really answer that question, I'd need to know exactly what it would cost the Jets to bring him in from Minnesota.
Totally get it. Look, Kirk Cousins is not as good as Aaron Rodgers. He's probably a little bit better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah. But when you consider the cost, to me, the cost would not be worth it. Kirk Cousins has put together a career where he's going to get paid $40, $45 million a year. That's all there is to it. Am I willing to do that if I'm the New York Jets? No way. If they miss out on Aaron Rodgers, they are much better suited getting a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo.